I'm sure many of you have had many questions about what's happening in Israel and in Palestine, so let's put some of those questions to rest. You might have wondered, is Palestinian resistance justified? Well, under international law, anyone under foreign occupation, apartheid, and colonial domination has the right to self liberation by all available means, including armed struggle. According to the United Nations Security Council, any establishment of settlements in Palestinian territory occupied after 1967 in all parts of Palestine are illegal, as well as being a violation of international law and Israeli law. The Human Rights Watch adds on to this, saying that over 700,000 Israeli settlers, which are spread out over 279 settlements, are all illegal. On top of this, many United Nations rights experts have time after time called Israel an apartheid state. The Human Rights Watch has declared Gaza an open air prison for the past 16 years. Israel controls the borders of Gaza, meaning they control what goes in and what goes out, as well as controlling electricity, gas, food, and water. Now comes the question: does Israel really have the right to defend itself? Under international law, Israel does not have the right to defend itself. In fact, no occupying power has the right to defend itself from a threat by a territory that is under aggressive occupation. Israel only has the right to protect itself and repel the attack, but it has absolutely no right to wage war against Palestine as it is the occupier. You might have wondered about all the support and aid for Israel. According to international criminal law and the United Nations, anyone sending aid to Israel, such as the US, is considered a criminal for aiding, assisting, and supporting the war crimes committed by Israel. According to international criminal law, anyone who aids, abets, or otherwise assists in its commission or its attempted commission of the crime, including providing the means for its commission, can and will be held criminally responsible. Now, is this a genocide? According to the United Nations, a genocide means any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group as such: killing members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. Many Israeli officials have already very clearly shown their intent about what they're going to do with Gaza, saying they're going to flatten Gaza and that there will only be destruction, as well as voicing an intent to wipe the people of Gaza off the face of the earth.
והצליחו, תכסחו אותם כמה שיותר, שלא להשאיר מהם זכר, שלא הם, לא אמא שלהם, לא הילדה שלהם, לא התינוקות שלהם, אסור להם לחיות.
Israel ticks off almost every act on this list. Israel has already killed at least 11,300 Palestinians, as well as injuring over 27,000. Israel has put a complete siege on Gaza, meaning no food, no water, no electricity, and no fuel, which is a form of collective punishment, which is a war crime. Israel has also forcibly transferred around 1.1 million Palestinians from northern Gaza down to southern Gaza, which is another war crime. Now comes the big question: is Israel a terrorist state? Let's talk about what Michael Peled, the son of the Israeli general Mattiyahu Peled, has said.
Got the Israeli army, which I like to refer to as one of the best trained, best equipped, best fed terrorist organizations in the world. And yes, they have generals and they have nice uniforms, but their entire purpose is terrorism. And just as one example, I'll give you one example. Almost exactly 4 years ago, as Israel began its attack on Gaza, September the 27th, 2008, at 11:25 in the morning, what I refer to as the most shameful day in the Jewish history, the most shameful day in the history of the Jewish people. Israel began carpet bombing Gaza, and on the first day of what was to be a 21-day attack, they dropped 100 tons of bombs. Okay, a 1-ton bomb will decimate an entire city block. Gaza is one of the most densely populated places in the world. 800,000 children live in Gaza. 11:25 is exactly the time when the morning school shift and the afternoon school shift change. So all the kids are in the streets. All the children are on the streets. That was the moment decided by the decision makers in Israel to begin the attack. This was the first day of a 21-day slaughter that had absolutely no justification. If that's not terrorism, I don't know what is.
There are plenty of ex-IDF soldiers speaking out, admitting that they were the terrorists, not the Palestinians. Joel Carmel, an ex-IDF soldier, said that when he witnessed the occupation as a soldier, he came to realize that Israel's policies were as much a force for the violence as the terrorism it was supposed to prevent. A soldier who served in 2003 stated, "We went into the towns of Tubas at 3 in the morning in a safari and threw stun grenades in the street for no reason except just to wake people up." Another soldier who served in 2002 stated, "A man without weapons, walking on the roof, just walking around slowly, perhaps meditating or praying. The military commander said, 'Take him down.' The sharpshooter fired and took him down." These are just a couple of stories, and there are so many more. Ex-IDF soldiers and many like them have joined together and formed a group called Breaking the Silence, which is a group of ex-IDF soldiers with the goal to show the Israeli public what daily life is like for Palestinians living under the occupation.
على عهدي على ديني على أرض تلاقيني أنا لأهلي أنا فديهم أنا دمي فلسطيني 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 أنا دمي فلسطيني على عهدي على ديني على أرض تلاقيني